What's up everybody, welcome to another video, and today's going to be a little bit different than all my other videos because it's going to be filmed more like a blog. I went on a recent road trip with my girlfriend to a little place near San Diego called Anza Borrego. It's kind of like a desert, and on the way there I filmed a lot of cool stuff such as things about autopilot, the new update that came in December regarding the car and some of the differences that I really noticed. And I kind of just film our experience and have a little fun with this video. So like I said, it's a little bit different, but I hope you enjoy it nonetheless, and thanks for watching. So we kind of just wanted to take a little day trip, see what's out there, and we're gonna go with our dog Chubbs. I'll show you guys him. Hold on. Yeah, so I've talked about Chubbs in some of the other videos. Here he is. We're gonna take him on a little adventure too. He will probably nap most of the way there and most of the way back, but he's pretty active for a bulldog. So we're just gonna take him in the car. He fits pretty well. I'll show you guys how we usually put him in the car. All right, so this is how we put Chubbs into the car because he's too big to get up there himself. And then he kind of just lays down, and sometimes we'll kind of lower the back seats and spread the towel out if we want him to go throughout the rest of the car. But for right now, we're just gonna leave him back here since we have to probably stop to supercharge, and then we'll take him out and we'll see how things go.
Hi Chubbs, it's going down.
Hey guys, so now we're on the road here. It's about 17 minutes to, I guess, the supercharger. And so then we're just gonna like charge it up extra just in case, because once you get out there to Anza Borrego, I don't see many superchargers out there, so I just want to be safe and kind of have all the power that we might need if we decide to like go off-road a little bit to get to some of the other destinations. But right now I'm just gonna put the car on autopilot because Christina's here, so she's kind of helping me record today. All right, so for autopilot, all you gotta do is you gotta get into the lane where you want to be, obviously, and you go ahead and you double click here, this little panel, and it'll show up autopilot when this little blue circle comes up, and you can set your speed using this little scroll meter that's right here on the steering wheel. You can move it up, and then you can set your max speed. So when you look at the circle now, it's 73, and before it was 71. So no matter how fast other cars are going, the speed will go past 73. If you want to speed it up, you can just do what I just did. Or if you want to move down, the same thing applies. You can just go ahead and move the scroll wheel down and it will adjust accordingly. And you know that you're in autopilot because you should see that little blue circle and also these little blue lines on the side of the car. And if you're not holding the car, holding the steering wheel of the car, after about 20 seconds, you'll start to see this blue light. And then if you still aren't holding the car, or if the car doesn't feel you, it'll start making sounds telling you that you need to pretty much put your hands on the wheel right now. If not, it'll lock you out of autopilot. Alright, so the bad thing about autopilot is when you get stuck behind a car that's going pretty slow and you don't have the enhanced full self-driving, because then with full self-driving, all you have to do is really click the turn signal and the car will find the right time to adjust into the lane next to you or where you put your signal to go. But with the package that I have, if you get stuck behind a car that's, for example, lugging a bunch of furniture and a hazard, then you kind of have to disengage autopilot. So for that, you tug up on the thing and it will disappear, and that's when you know that you're out of autopilot. And then you can go ahead and get into your new lane. So I'm going to go ahead and turn into my left lane. And once you are there and say you want to stay in this lane, you can go ahead and engage autopilot again with the double click and you'll be in autopilot. You necessarily don't have to just put the car in autopilot. The car also just has the regular cruise control, where if you click it down once, it will maintain its speed. So it will maintain the 74 max, and you can adjust it accordingly, kind of like with autopilot with the scroll wheel here. But with this, you know that you're not in autopilot because the blue lines are not on the side of the highway. So that's how you know that you still have to kind of pay attention, or you always have to pay attention. But this is how you know that you have to kind of keep control of the wheel and stay in your lane. But if you want to go into autopilot, you can get out of it and then click it twice and you'll be in autopilot. So we just made it to a supercharger. Just gonna charge the car for like maybe just like 15 minutes. We just want to top it off, just make sure that we have enough power to go over there. We're just gonna take a little walk, wake this dude up who's already sleeping. But next up, Anza Borrego. All right, so as we're driving here on this pretty desolate road, I'm gonna talk about some of the changes that came with the new update. I think it was towards the end of November. There was a huge holiday update. So some of the things that changed on the screen here are they had some reorganization of some of the symbols that are on the screen. So this whole area kind of shifted more towards the left, so it's supposed to be a little bit easier for the driver to see. When I think it is a little bit helpful. I didn't really notice too much of a difference. I kind of just got used to looking at the center console. That was the hardest part, I think, just kind of having your gaze shift to the right instead of just being right in front of the dash. They also, the other most notable thing is that they took away the voice command. So there used to be a voice command button in this area, and you would just click it and you could tell the car to change a song or to turn on the defroster. But they took that option away, so now you can only click this right scroll wheel. So those are the biggest differences that I've noticed. And yeah, we're still on the road, 39 minutes away.
Hey, chubby man.
Alright, so when I thought of autopilot, I only thought autopilot only worked on freeways. I didn't think it would really work on roads like this, just two-sided roads. But then Christina kind of told me just to try it, and so I kind of laughed at her, not gonna lie, but it actually works. When you put autopilot on these streets, it still works, and it goes and it takes these turns. So there's gonna be a little turn coming up, and it will manage that turn. Let's see how it takes this turn up. So as you can see, it kind of slows down pretty fast. It slows down pretty fast. So if you're gonna take a turn like this, I would suggest making sure that there's in a car that's right behind you. It's being more cautious on these turns because they are very sharp, which is, it's good. Like, it's good that it doesn't take them too fast and you feel a little bit safer. Personally, I don't know if I would be comfortable with it taking all these turns. I think I would just rather take the turns, and then when it gets on a straight road, just put it back in autopilot. But as you can see, there was cars on the side there, and it just kept driving normally, didn't suddenly slow down or anything like that. But I'm just super happy that it can drive on autopilot on these roads, because I was getting pretty tired. So this is pretty cool. So that over there is pretty much our destination, I believe.
You want to stop? I'm gonna look out.
So we just made it to Anza Borrego, to these little sculptures. There's like a little sculpture park, just a bunch of different sculptures. Over there in the distance, there's some elephants and some turtles and stuff. It's just a random place where they put a bunch of sculptures. And so here's Chubbs and camels and car. We had to off-road so much to get here. Just kidding. The road's right there. That road right there where the car just passed is paved. So we literally just had to kind of drive off the road a little bit. We might go to some other areas that are actually off-road, but the only thing that worries me is that when we read stuff about the off-roads, they say that you have to have a certain amount of clearance, and I'm just scared that we might hit the bottom of the car, because the car is elevated, but I don't know if it has enough clearance to go to those other off-road sites. Here we are, off-roading, guys. The big screen might be a little bit shaky, but would you consider this off-roading?
We're off a road, so.
We are technically off the road, so yes, these Teslas can handle off-roading. So we're at another statue here. We're leaving Chubbs in the car because I think the dust was kind of getting him really tired. But if you can see, we have dog mode on. You can set the temperature on your app for whatever you want dog mode to be. But yep, so here's another sculpture. It's a huge serpent. All those statues are pretty close. You just can either walk or drive to them, but they're all just require a little bit of off-roading. The road's right, main road's right there where that car is driving, so they're all pretty close to the main road. But yeah, so statue and car. It's very quiet. It's kind of nice actually. Yep. So at first I was wrong. I guess there are chargers out here in Borrego Springs, which is cool because then you know that a lot of places are moving towards electric, and even if you're in the middle of nowhere, you will find a charger. So I was super ecstatic, but we actually get to this charger and it says that they are out of order. Luckily, I was just gonna put more charge into the car because we were gonna see if we can go to some other a place that's like really nice, but it's kind of more towards, I don't know what area you would say. It's quite the distance. Yeah, it is quite the distance. So we were just gonna like, oh, maybe we can put some more charge, go over there, and then there's just a little bit more comfort knowing that we would be able to make it all the way back home. But because there isn't charge here because they're down, I guess we'll just probably head to a little town called Julian, and it's cool. They have some good apple pie, so we're probably gonna go there, just walk around a little bit. Hey guys, so that's pretty much the end of the video. When we were in Julian, we kind of just walked around and ate some pie, but after that we just came home and there was really nothing that stood out that I wanted to film, so that's why I kind of cut the video there. The next video I plan to make is about things that I really don't like about the Tesla, or minor inconveniences that I would say that make me like the Tesla a little bit less. They're not like major flaws or anything, but it's just coming down to the itty-gritty picky stuff that if I were able to change, I would. So thanks for watching again. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. As always, thanks for making it to the end of this video. See you guys.